On deck is the center fielder, Grant Moore. Woodley peers in, now kicks
some damage in the third inning. They're trying to do that here as they have 2 runners on with 1 out for a very dangerous number 25, Grant Moore.
Grant Moore grounded out to shortstop, as many of his counterparts his first time up, but again, you're not going to keep him down for long. Moore is an average well above 400. First pitch misses outside. A ball and no strikes the count. 2 runners on base. The Americans looking to continue the trend of striking in the bottom of the third. That one grounded out to shortstop. Fry fields, flips to second for 1. On to first, not in time. You're going to have a hard time doubling up a guy like Brant Moore.
Right.
He beats it out, but there are runners on the corners now with 2 down here in the bottom of the third inning.
Now batting right fielder, number 36, Evan Core.
It'll be Evan Core now who digs in. Core, again, you're going to hear this a lot as we go through the order for the second time. He grounded out to shortstop his last time up.
You might hear that a few times tonight, Muckdogs fans. I'm going to have to break the news to you.
Eric Woodley looking to keep the Americans off the scoreboard. They've got 2 on with 2 away for the 2-hitter Core. That heater misses outside for ball 1. You really got to tip your cap for the way the Muckdogs have handled Grant Moore, one of the most dangerous hitters in the West Division. And he's 0 for 7 so far across the first 2 games of this series. A major threat to run at first. That's putting it lightly. 27 stolen bases on the season. The Americans at 17-8, let me do some quick math. They played 25 games, so he's averaging more than a steal per game. The 2-0 pitch is grounded, foul outside of third.
That's some nice quick math.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Take the next inning off.
2 balls and a strike the count here in the bottom of the third inning. Woodley trying to tiptoe out of it. That breaking ball is in there. The count even at 2s. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on here in the bottom of the third inning.
Nice breaking ball by Woodley right there to get back even into this count, get himself in a 2-strike position.
Here comes the 2-2. Again, fouls it off.
Nice AB.
He's really battling here. You have to feel that this is a big moment. The Americans really haven't had much of any opportunities or threats through the first 2 innings and change. They had a 2-out base runner on third, but that's about it. Woodley with the 2-2. A fly ball into left field. Mindas is under it. He will make the catch to retire the side. So Eric Woodley allows 2 hits, the second and third hits of the day for the Americans, but no runs cross home plate after 3 innings of play. The Muckdogs lead this one 5-0. Muckdog fans, let's take a look at Batavia's upcoming schedule. Muckdogs return home for Game 3 of this 3-game set tomorrow. Again, Game 3, Saturday night, 6:30. It's Tully's night. Continue the fun of 4th of July weekend at Dwyer Stadium. Beautiful weather, a beautiful contest. If things go the way they're going, it's going to be the rubber match, which would determine first place in the West Division. It's going to be a huge game, going to be fireworks, even though the fireworks and the festivities may be over. Keep the weekend rolling on Saturday, and then Sunday, The Muckdogs take on the Diesel at 4 p.m. There's a post-game catch on the field. Luca, my apologies. Think you had something to add there?
No, I think you explained it really well. It's just going to be another great night to come out, bring the family. It's Tully's night. Everybody loves Tully's. Tully's good times, a great restaurant, another great place to bring your family on a Saturday night. So we have the combination. Come and bring your family. Have some fun at the ballpark.
Listen, if anyone knows about having fun at the ballpark, it's this man to the left of me. He runs the show there. So I think if he's telling you to come out, I think that's a pretty good endorsement. We're on now to inning number 4. It'll be Travis Hammond leading off for the Muckdogs. It'll be Hammond, Walker. And then the top of the lineup flips back over with Braden Horton. First pitch to Hammond is grounded foul. No balls and a strike. Hammond flashes bunt. But not in the field of play, so he's behind now 0-2.
That's unfortunate for Travis. If that one were to not foul off of him, I think it was shallow enough for him to get over to first. He's got crazy, crazy speed, even out of that right-handed batter's box.
Great wheels. So here comes the 0-2. That one grounded to shortstop. Guzaldo fields, throws in time. For out number 1. Chris Guzaldo, he's got a strong arm. He really
he made that play
look
easy. You know, got Hammond by a few steps, and on plays to the shortstop with Hammond at the plate, usually not that easy. That was casual, as one could say.
If I was a shortstop and I had an arm like that, I think I'd show it off from time to time. Anyways, I'm not. I'm in the booth watching as Caleb Walker, the extra hitter, digs into the box. He flew out to right field. Back in inning number 2. He takes the first pitch here outside. The 1-0 on the way. That one grounded to first, fielded cleanly by Miller. Covering the bag is Bazinet. He steps on it in time for out number 2. 2 quick outs. Here in the top of inning number 4, but now things turn over for the ever-dangerous Braden Horton. Horton 1 for 2 today. He singled his last time to the plate.
Yeah, it was a similar story as to last inning. You know, there's 2 outs. Bazinet's in a bit of a flow this inning, but now you got to face Horton, and it's not like it's never easy coming up against Horton. He doesn't get himself out, doesn't swing at pitches not in the zone. So, got to stay locked in and finish this inning if you're Bazinet.
0-1 pitch is low. And if you listen to a lot of the broadcasts, you've heard me say it plenty of times. Just about every game I like to reference his walk to strikeout ratio, because on the season he's got 18 walks to 8 strikeouts.
That is
Those
ridiculous.
You said it. I've said it. Those are just video game numbers. More than 2 walks per every strikeout tells you that he makes good swing decisions. He swings at pitches in the zone, and he punishes them. 346 average, a 558 slug, 8 extra base hits. Quite a few triples. A speedy guy. He knows what to leave. You're really not going to see him whiff a whole lot, as displayed by the 8 strikeouts. And he's not going to chase. Honestly, the perfect hitting prototype, I'd say Braden Horton is. This here comes the 1-1. That hits him. Breaking ball. Bazinet could not quite get the feel of it. It came inside, plunked him on the shoulder. So Horton, threat to run, is on now with 2 away for Sean Mindas.
Now batting left fielder number 7, Sean Mindas.
You know, not that Horton walked or got a hit right there, but a pitcher in Bazinet trying to make a good inside pitch, hits him, and look, here we go again. Horton on first base for the ever-hot Sean Mindas.
Mindas, a rare situation where he didn't come through. You know, baseball, they say it's a game of failure. With Sean Mindas, it's a surprise when he doesn't come through. That's just the way he's been swinging it. That first pitch fastball clips the outside corner for strike 1. Mindas fouled out his last time up. He pops that one up, shallow center field. Grant Moore coming on, he'll make the catch to set down Mindas. That's the third out here in the top of inning number 4. Through 3.5 innings, the Muckdogs lead 5-0. As the Americans now will come to bat.
People always ask me, Sophia, how do you change a tire? I don't know. I don't know how to change a tire. And my name's Bella. But I do know where you can get great food and good times at Tully's in Batavia at 522 East Main Street. Look out for coupons at the next Muckdogs home game. And go Dogs!
Bottom of the 4th inning, now underway. Eric Woodley has picked up where Sains, Branch, Hollinsworth, and Luke Rising left off last night. He's been great through 3 innings. That, I don't want to say cursed, but the daunting 3rd inning came and went. The Americans were left off the scoreboard. Eric Woodley has allowed no runs on 3 hits through 3 innings. The first pitch here in the 4th is high for ball 1.
Woodley has done a great job today, and really you can just tell is in that flow state. I'm saying in quotations, that's the state where
there's a deep drive into right field. It's going to chase back Horton. That ball is gone. A home run for Gavin Boyle. He's got a triple and a home run through 2 ABs tonight. It's his 2nd long ball of the summer, and it puts the Americans on the board. The Muckdogs lead, cut to 5-1. Off the bat, that one I knew was going.
No, there was no question about that. So Gavin Boyle knew it himself as well. We were just going to talk about how Woodley was doing such a great job and how he was in that flow state. Well, giving up a home run is going to break up that flow state that he was in. He has to make sure that he relocks in, forgets about that at-bat. He's got a 4-run cushion.
And that's the great thing about pitching with a lead is, sure, loud off the bat, loud contact, he gets to round the bases, but guess what? You return back to the mound, your team is still up by 4 runs. When you throw strikes, even when you get beat, it's going to hurt you less when you keep the ball in the strike zone. That one came out of the zone, up and inside. Paul Dulanto got out of the way in time, though. There's a swing and a miss. Gavin Boyle has the 2 hardest legs of the cycle already checked off. A triple in the 1st, a homer in the 4th. Maybe we're getting that inside scouting report as Woodley and Boyle, both attendees at SUNY Niagara. Gavin Boyle, the season has not started the way he's wanted it to, but he's been locked in as of late. Posted 3 hits last night, 2 more tonight through 2 trips to the plate. Paul Dulanto takes that one high for a ball.
And if you're Woodley, obviously it sucks giving up a home run, but to give it up to a Niagara teammate, he's going to be hearing about that when they see each other again.
There's definitely some opportunity to chirp a little bit. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The count, Woodley, ready with the payoff. Here it comes. Fouled back. Dulanto putting together a tough AB. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Coming home again, Woodley. That one, a line drive into left field. It's going to get in. 4 base hits, so the Americans, maybe that big blast, the spark they needed. A man on now with nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
If you're Woodley, you can't get away from your own stuff here. He's done a great job in this game by throwing strikes, as we have our pitching coach, Grant Bickham, walking out to Tanner. If I'm Grant, I'm telling, hey, stay within yourself. You've had great stuff tonight. You've had success throwing strikes. Don't get away from that. Let's not start allowing players to get on through walks or pass balls. Continue to throw strikes and believe in yourself, and we're going to get through this.
To be an athlete at a high level like this, you need to have unwavering confidence in yourself. You hear people say, and a lot of times it's a joke, you hear people talk about being built different, and I put that in quotes. To be a high-level athlete, it's not a joke. You really do need to be built different. Your brain just needs to be wired differently. You have to have supreme confidence. Coach Bickham, he talks a lot about how the number one thing is mentality as a pitcher. If you don't have that mental, you're not going to succeed. That's what you're alluding to right there.
Exactly, and it's one thing, too. You're out there on that mound alone. The whole stadium is watching you. You are in control of the game. You're in control of the tempo. If you're pitching well, you're really dictating the whole game, and if your team wins, a good starting pitcher outing usually leads to wins.
There's a fly ball into shallow left field. Brian Fry coming out from shortstop. He makes the play.
He's being greedy today.
Number 1. Yeah, that one he really had to go a long way for.
Yeah.
Stepping in for the Americans, the extra hitter number 2, Tommy Bay.
Counted 6 ground ball outs, which have come his way. Now 2 pop outs. Keep in mind, there have been 10 outs recorded. Brian Fry has been part of 8 here in the bottom of the 4th inning, as Tommy Mathey comes to the plate and takes a heater in there for strike 1. Going back to the confidence for Woodley, another thing which I think may make it easier to sort of write off any quote-unquote struggle is that one misses outside to even the count at 1s. Gavin Boyle, I know the numbers were not where he wanted them to be. He had an OPS over 1,200 this season for SUNY Niagara, a teammate of Eric Woodley, and he's really been the only guy who's had Woodley's number today. It's the 1-1 pitch. That misses low and outside. Luke, it'll be interesting to see, though, as the lineup flips over again and he has to face Boyle and the meat of this lineup once again, what the bullpen usage is like. As the runner goes for second, the throw from Romick is in time. A cannon. Cooper Romick shows off the gun. He cuts down Dulanto at second base, and now base is empty, 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th. I think that is the most lopsided, not close out we've seen on a stolen base attempt on the season.
It's almost like Cooper knew. He just had that feeling.
The 2-2 pitch. There's a shallow fly ball, right center field. Hammond, sliding catch. What a play. Travis Hammond flashing the leather, showing off the range. It seemed like there was no shot of that ball being caught. But the elite center fielder makes the grab. It's 1 run, scores on 2 hits, but nobody left on base. After 4 innings of play, the Muckdogs lead 5-1. Our incredible sponsors make Batavia Muckdog baseball possible. I'd like to give a special shout out to some of the sponsors which fuel your Muckdogs. A huge thank you to Batavia Downs, Brighton Security, Bully Hill, Casella Waste, Eli Fish Brewing, Genesee Community College, Genesee Lumber, Skyworks, Tompkins Bank, Turnbull Heating and Air, UR Wilmot, Rochester Regional Health, Wright Beverage, Geico, Graham Corporation, Liberty Pumps, and Owatka Milk Products. Thank you for all of your support. And also, fans, the fifth inning is brought to you by HP Hood. A touch of Hood will do you good. The fifth inning underway. Tyler Castrataro will lead off the frame. After Luca, a pair of sparkling plays by the defense, which fitting with what we said before the game about how defense is going to play a big part in this contest.
Yeah, the Americans' defense in the first inning was a little lackadaisical, and that led to a big 4-run inning. And right there, to end the inning in the last inning, Travis Hammond just always making it look so casual, always swag in this guy's game.
Travis Hammond and Cooper Romick. I think the scouting report needs to start getting out there. Do not run on Cooper Romick because the guy has an absolute cannon.
He really embarrassed the Americans runner on that last play.
It wasn't close. Again, as we said, I don't think there's been a more lopsided circumstance of, I don't even know the wording for it.
Right.
The ball beat the runner by about 5 steps. The PA announcer next to us said, of course jokingly, but it emphasizes there's a fly ball deep center field. Chases back Grant Moore, but he makes the catch. A beautiful play. Center fielders going stellar play for stellar play as Grant Moore chases that one down in the gap, robs Castrataro of extra bases for out number 1. Back to what I was saying. The Niagara Falls Americans PA announcer jokingly said, I think I saw him yawn over there at second base.
Yes.
A pair of veterans who, you see, guys that can bring it with the twig, and they make sparkling plays. Their impact is felt day in and day out defensively.
And we just saw a great play sorry, Nikita, finish.
First pitch was a strike on Espinal.
The speed from Grant Moore, not only is it valuable, obviously, on the base paths with his 27 stolen bases on the year, but as we just saw in the outfield, Tyler Castrataro, after seeing that Moore made the catch, was like, what? Wait, really? And Moore honestly just made that look easy. That speed is great to have in center field.
0-2 pitch is outside. And people talk a lot about being a great defender and how that's valuable at any position. It is exacerbated so much more in center field and at shortstop. The two hardest positions to play, well, besides catcher, of course. There's a swing and a miss, a nasty breaking ball to set down Espinal. 2-3 put out puts him away for out number 2. Just the range you have to cover, the leadership you have to take out there. An elite defensive center fielder, defense usually not as flashy, but an elite center fielder adds so much value to a team. There's a reason why going to the major league level, you see guys like Denzel Clark, who maybe don't hit a ton, they're in the lineup every day because of their defenses. That one line to center field. Another nice play on the run by Grant Moore. Poetic. And here to the top of the 5th inning as the Muckdogs go down 1-2-3, a pair of well-hit balls, but nothing to show for it. We're halfway through this ball game. Batavia leads 5-1.
Did you know that 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance with Geico?
Yeah, but did you know that Dewey's favorite snack is popcorn from the Batavia Muckdogs?
People always ask me, Sophia, how do you change a tire? I don't know. I don't know how to change a tire. And my name's Stella. But I do know where you can get great food and good times at Tully's in Batavia at 522 East Main Street. Look out for coupons at the next Muckdogs home game. And go Dogs!
The bottom of the fifth. Now just about ready to get underway. Eric Woodley still on the mound.
Now batting for the Americans is
Rough, I guess you could say roughed up. Not really. Allowed just one run on 2 hits in the 4th inning. He's been dealing, though. They'll face Chris Guzaldo to open up the 5th. The first pitch fouled back.
Yeah, and it's easy as a pitcher. You give up a big shot like that, and you get a little bit insecure with your stuff, and maybe I can't pump in these strikes how I have been, as you are afraid that you're going to get rocked even more. But Woodley has done the exact opposite. And like I said, needed to stay within himself, and that's brought him the success so far in this game. And as we can already see right here, already up 0-2.
That one misses high. Try to get him to chase the high heater.
He's done a really good job of continuing to throw strikes and continuing to put pressure on the Americans' batters.
He's showing off that dog on the mound as the 1-2 is in there for strike 3. A nice breaking ball from Woodley on the inside corner. Sets down Guzaldo. He's 0 for 2 today. That is the 2nd K for Woodley as Connor Kiefer now comes to the plate.
number 1, Connor Kiefer.
Kiefer struck out his last time up, so the 2 strikeout victims Woodley has induced Ks against, back-to-back in the order. Kiefer at second base, the first pitch to him. A heater in there for strike 1. As the season comes down the stretch, at least in my head, I've sort of been mapping out, trying to get a sense of on high pop, foul, third base side. Espinal towards the stands. He will make the catch.
Nice.
For out number 2.
What were you going to say? I see you smiling. I'm interested to see.
Now batting first.
Oh, I was just saying, well, for one, the foul territory, the increased amount of foul territory here at Sal Magley, making a difference. Also, though, the first pitch on its way. That breaking ball is in there for strike 1 to Graydon Miller. But as we go down the stretch, you sort of get a sense of the trust tree, which arms are going to be pitching in the biggest moments.
Right.
Eric Woodley, after a great regular season, is having a great audition for a top-of-the-line postseason starter for the Muckdogs here today against a team that, if Batavia wants to win the West Division, they'll have to go through the Americans. Through 4 2/3 innings, he's allowed just 1 run. There's a fly ball into right center field. Hammond running in. That one, a much easier grab. He makes it. And the Americans are set down 1-2-3 in the 5th inning. We head now to inning number 6. The Muckdogs in the lead, up 5-1. New pitcher on for the Americans in inning number 6. It's the right-hander, Brady Tony. Tony struggled against the Muckdogs back on June 22nd. Over .1 innings, he allowed 2 runs on 2 hits, 2 walks, did not strike out a batter. From Jacksonville, Florida, he'll be making his 7th appearance of the season here today. Has an 8.44 ERA over 10.2 innings.
You all right after that?
He is currently in the transfer portal. As a freshman, he went to Mount St. Mary's University.
Okay, you got the veteran.
They'll be looking to hold down the Muckdog lineup.
Yeah, Tony with your typical big pitching build, 6'4", 225, like you said, out of Jacksonville, Florida. Tony struggled against the Muckdogs last time. I think, I like this decision from a pitcher has a really bad outing against a team. Not a high leverage situation right here. Americans are down 5-1. Let's get our guys some confidence back. Maybe Tony can come in, get us a few innings, and get his mind back right as well.
A perfect opportunity to sort of ease any nerves, get the bad taste out of his mouth. Again, pitching so mental. The Americans know that, sort of as we touched on with Woodley making an audition for the playoffs, the Americans know that more than likely they're probably going to have to go up against the Muckdogs sometime in the postseason if they want to make it to the final. He'll face James Bolton, Brian Fry, and Cooper Romick here in the top half of the 6th inning. The first pitch, breaking ball outside.
Count is 2-0 to Bolton. Tony struggled with walks his last time out. Bolton, who draws a lot of walks, so a bit of a bad matchup here to start for Tony.
That one misses outside. Bolton with 12 free passes on the season, looking for number 13. He's 1 for 1 today. 3-0 pitches in there for a strike. A sac fly, first a single in the 3rd. Good productive day at the plate.
Just by a nose.
Tony with the opportunity to bounce back and complete the full comeback. He was down 3-0, now the count 3-2. He awaits, kicks, fires. That one low for ball 4. So a leadoff walk for James Bolton.
Looks like the Muckdogs have the scouting report. They remembered Tony from last time as Bolton didn't even swing the bat that at bat. Now we have a runner on with nobody out for Brian Fry.
Fry hit an RBI double his last time up. A perfectly placed ball. It wasn't scalded into the gap like you may think with a double, but he just put one in the right place. It hit off of the glove of Chris Guzaldo and trickled away. That pitch misses outside for ball 1. Fry had an RBI with that double. The Muckdogs scored 8 runs since then, though, as we sit here in the 6th inning. That pitch fouled back to even the count at once. Give credit where credit is due. Keegan Bazinet got roughed up a bit in the 1st, but after that, it's smooth sailing for him.
No question.
A ball and a strike. Here's the pitch. That one popped foul again. 1-2, the count on Fry. One ball, 2 strikes. Tony, ready, kicks and fires. That one up high to even the count at 2-2 on Fry. Brian Fry on the season hitting .266, a .433 on base, a .328 slug coming into the day. He went 0 for 3 with a walk last night. The 2-2.
The catcher, number 47,
Cooper Romick will now come to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. Romick grounded out his last time up back in the 3rd inning. That pitch misses high. 1 ball, no strikes to the catcher, Romick. The hitting numbers, maybe not where he'd like them to be, but day in and day out, he shows his value. We talked a lot about it last inning. That cannon behind the plate, great pitch calling, a great blocker, a great framer,
And that's what comes with a good catcher, right? Maybe he's not hitting the best at the plate, but like you just said, he can frame really well. He's calling the game very well. And as we saw, he's got a cannon. So value coming from Romick, maybe if it's just not with the bat.
Here comes the 2-0. That one gets away a bit. Bolton going for second. Nick Pass tripped up a little bit as he got up to try to fire a throw into second base. So James Bolton heads up base running, takes advantage of the wild pitch. 3-0 the count, a runner in scoring position with 1 away for the Muckdogs. Cooper Romick. Now, you mentioned the hitting numbers not quite where they want to be right now. The extreme value on defense. Also, this is a guy who was second team All-PGCBL last summer, second team All-Conference this season during the spring for Lemoyne.
So we know that there's a great hitter inside of that bat.
And they continue, they're giving him the reps knowing that at some point it's just going to click for him. Could be, again, as we go down the stretch, a big piece as here comes the 3-1. Broken bat out to shortstop. Caught by Guzaldo for out number 2.
Yeah, Tony's done a good job after allowing that lead-off walk to throw strikes, throw some tough pitches. Now he's got himself 2 outs. He's got to finish off the inning, though, with the speedy Travis Hammond at the plate. Speedy 3 times. That's how fast he is.
3 times fast. That's Travis Hammond. He's got an opportunity to add a run to the Muckdog lead. James Bolton at second base. First pitch swinging. He fouls it away outside of third. Hammond has 5 ribbies on the season. Only 4 stolen bases, which, again, I think part of that is he missed some time. He's scuffled a little bit at the plate, so hasn't maybe gotten on base as much as he'd like. But this is a guy who last summer had an OBP north of 500. So Travis Hammond, a guy with good control of the strike zone, good contact skills. Expect that stolen base number and those average and on-base numbers to go up as he gets more time. Here he's behind no balls and 2 strikes against Tony. 2 away here in the 6th. The pitch is a called strike 3. He paints the heater on the outside and low corner. Travis Hammond set down. James Bolton, after the leadoff walk, is stranded at second base. No runs, no hits. The Muckdogs still lead 5-1 as we head now to the bottom half of the 6th inning.
You just gotta ignite the light.
The bottom of the 6th inning, just about ready to get underway. Eric Woodley still twirling it. He's allowed 1 run through 5 innings, allowed 5 hits. He's struck out 2 batters. Nick Past singled his first time up to the plate. First pitch to him here is a heater on the outside corner for strike 1. Count even at 1s now.
I'm afraid to be positive with Woodley because last time I decided to do that, a big hit was given up. How much of a believer are you in the announcer jinx?
I don't believe it. Here's my thoughts on that. As the 1-2 pitch kicks, fires on the way, fouled away. I think people keep a track every time an announcer says something and
Sure.
the opposite happens. How often do they keep track of the announcer saying something and it doesn't happen? They don't. Your brain remembers situations like
Sure,
that. They don't remember
sure.
the other effect as the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
You bring up a good point. As Woodley starts off the 6th, how he's been going this whole game for the most part.
That's his 3rd K of the day.
Number 25, Grant Moore.
Grant Moore and the top of the American order will come to the dish. You know, not to go psychology, because I don't think we need to do psychology.
Yeah.
This is
What's your major?
this is confirmation bias. You know, as the first pitch is in there for strike 1. Not to throw it out. You know,
Confirmation bias.
and
Wow.
I did take AP Psych in high school. Got a 5 on the exam. So
Okay.
I know a little bit what I'm talking about. As the 0-1 pitch to Grant Moore is outside. Count even at 1s. Whatever you can talk about heuristics, confirmation bias, your brain comes to things quicker when you think about it more. It doesn't mean that it's true, the 1-1. It's a swing and a miss. It's more memorable when the opposite happens. So your brain is going to think of that first, and it's going to make it seem more true. A perfect example of this is the 1-2 pitch, just about ready. Woodley kicks and fires. A swing and foul tip into the glove.
Woo!
A tough guy to set down via the K. Woodley strikes out Grant Moore. His scuffles against the Muckdogs continue, as now through the first game and some change, he's 0 for 8 with 4 Ks against the Muckdogs.
Wow.
Anyways, my last point on this, I think a similar phenomenon is people generally are more afraid to go on planes than cars because your brain remembers plane crashes far more than car accidents because they're more catastrophic.
But car accidents
When in reality,
are
car
more
accidents happen way more often. So your brain is going to think of that first, and it's going to make it seem like more of a danger, something that's more real, when it's not. So a really long-winded way to say why I don't believe in the announcers.
I've really opened up a can of worms here.
Psychology, and you're right on the money with heuristics.
I'm getting confirmation from
Yeah,
the PA
you're
announcer
getting some
here.
backup over there, I can hear.
You got heuristics right, and you got the other.
I appreciate the support. I may be a broadcaster, but I know what I'm talking about. Is that one? Nice play. Eric Woodley stabs at it, flips to first in time. Evan Core set down a 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th inning. That's enough psychology talk. Eric Woodley is dominating out on the mound. He's through 6 innings. He's allowed just 1 run on 5 hits. The Muckdogs lead 5-1 as we head now to the final 3 frames here this evening. Muckdog fans, Game 3 of this 3-game set between the Muckdogs and the Americans takes place tomorrow at Dwyer Stadium, 6:30 p.m. It's Tully's night, Sunday, the weekend, capped off as the Muckdogs take on the Buffalo Diesel at 4 p.m. with a post-game catch on the field. For tickets to either of those 2 games or any home game, you're running out of time.
What's that number, Nikita?
Please make sure to call 585-524-2260 for your tickets. Muckdogs games, again, not a lot of time left. Make sure to call 585-524-2260. Get yourself out to Dwyer Stadium before it's too late and you have to wait a whole nother summer.
Oh, no, you don't want to do that, especially with how tight these standings are. We have a great season, a great finish ahead of us.
First pitch from Brady Toney, who's still on the mound, is low to Caleb Walker. Walker is 0 for 2 today. He swings and misses through that breaking ball, falls behind in the count. Falls even. That's back to our discussion we had in Elmira a few weeks ago about how when the count is even, it's really not because it favors the pitcher.
You're exactly correct.
Here comes the 1-1. Inside. Now 2 balls and a strike.
Yeah, it's a 2-2 count is so much more in the favor of the pitcher than it is the hitter. So there's saying even is
as now we are even. 2 balls and 2 strikes in the count.
Okay.
Which again, it's a bit. Probably one of the bigger lies in baseball is that the 2-2 count is considered even because, again, the numbers I believe is here's the 2-2. A fly ball into relatively deep right field. Evan Core is under it and makes the catch for out number 1. Brady Toney gave up a leadoff walk after coming into the game. Since then, he's been in complete control. He's set down the last 4 batters he's faced. Now, though, we'll face the top of the Muckdog order with Braden Horton. Horton, 1 for 2 on the day, was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. That was his last time up. Takes that one for strike 1.
Yeah, these past few innings, no runs for either squad. Horton with an opportunity here with 1 out. He's going to try to get on base, try to start a rally, try to...
Is
Whoa.
not continued. He reached out. Evan Core did. I'll fill you all in, Muckdog fans, as I apologize. The stream, I believe, hit a roadblock right there. There may have been some lag. What happened was Braden Horton smoked one down the right field line. The Americans' right fielder, Evan Core, charging, reached out, sprawled, a full extension, had it in his glove, did a flip, and as he flipped, the ball came out. So it's a 1-out double for Braden Horton. He's on second base. Now for Tyler Castrataro. For Horton, his 2nd hit of the day. Excuse me, Sean Mindas. Not Tyler Castrataro. He is in the on-deck circle. Long look. Toney now comes to the plate. That pitch is fouled back.
Check that. This is left fielder number 7, Sean Mendes.
Yeah, if this AB gets extended, look for Horton to maybe steal third base, especially with 1 out. A sac fly or a ball hit deep into the infield can bring a speedy Horton home.
Oh, I like that call out. You know, here comes the 0-1. That's outside. A ball and a strike.
Or possibly a hit and run as well.
A hit. So the one thing I'll say with the hit and run.
Oh, boy.
With the runner on second base, maybe a little dicey. You see it because considering that on a single, most likely he'll score.
Correct.
But I like the call for him potentially on the move. That pitch got away from Nick Past for a moment, almost made the hit and run. The attempt for a stolen base not necessary at all. But good job by Nick Past keeping it in front of him, keeping Horton at second. The count now 2-1 on Mindas. Which pitch? If you have to make a call.
I was going to say right here on the 2-1. I don't
Tony.
believe he got the sign, though.
A swing and a miss. I think, hey, it's entirely possible that the call might have been on, but with Brady Tony's extra long hold and look back threw him off of his timing.
Yeah, Tony's been good with his timing. Some pitches just deciding to fire it right in, and others we've seen him take his time. That messes with the runner. You can't time that up.
2 balls and 2 strikes the count. 1 away. Tony, the pitch to Mindas. Reached
Nice.
out, line drive into right field. It's a base hit. Horton had to hold up, so he'll stay put at third. But runners are on the corners now with 1 away here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, so like I said earlier, Mindas can hit it to left, he can hit the center, and right here he can hit it to right. Does a great job. Just simple hitting. Shooting that into right field. Runners on the corners now with 1 out for our guy, Tyler Castrataro.
Castrataro is 0 for 2 with a walk today. One last point on the switching up the rhythm and why it's so important for pitchers to change their looks. What a lot of teams will do to time up stealing bases is they'll count with letters in seconds. First pitch to Castrataro. Paints the outside corner for strike 1. So what I mean by that is for a team like the Muckdogs, what they'll probably do is go M, U, C, and if a pitcher is too consistent with their release timing, they'll be like, hey, he's going every time we get to C.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time it gets to C, we're just going to run. And when you think you have a guy timed up and then he doesn't, that's when you see runners break early and get caught in no man's land.
Right.
Situations like that.
Yeah, that's good, interesting details right there. I don't know if I heard of that before you just said it right there.
Here comes the 0-1.
At least with the
Grounded
letters.
to second. Could be 2. The flip to second for 1. On to first. Offline. So a run will score. Tough to double up Castrataro anyway, but would have been close at the bag. So it's an RBI for the second baseman, Castrataro. It extends the Muckdog lead to 6-1. Now 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning.
Yeah, the speed from Castrataro forcing an ill-advised throw, keeping this inning alive
Now batting third baseman number 21,
for Justin Espinal.
First pitch is fouled back. Espinal has had a good day at the plate. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. No balls and a strike. Tony with another long look, switching up those timings. Castrataro certainly a threat to run. Oh, and foul tipped. In and out of the glove.
Not only does it mess up the runner, but messes up the batter's timing as well.
It's tough when you stand in the box for a long time, waiting for a pitch to come home. It can throw off your focus. No balls and 2 strikes the count. 2 away here in the top half of the 7th inning. Tony sets and fires. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Nice breaking ball puts away Espinal. The Muckdogs put 1 on the board. They increase their lead to 5 runs. We are on to the 7th inning stretch. Batavia leads 6-1. The 7th inning is brought to you by Batavia Downs. Win more, lots more at the Batavia area's premier entertainment destination. Eric Woodley still in the game, on for his 7th inning of work. He's maybe got his grudge match against Gavin Boyle, who took him deep last time up. He swings and fouls that one away for strike 1. Boyle with a home run and a triple, his first 2 times up today. The 0-1. Swung on, popped up, down the left field line. Mindas towards the line, makes the catch. So Woodley wins the 3rd battle with Boyle, sets him down for out number 1.
Yeah, as they just high-fived as Boyle walking back to the dugout. There's that Niagara connection right there. They're laughing, they're joking with each other. That's good competition. That's good sportsmanship.
The SUNY-Niagara tie certainly being felt today, as Paul Dulanto will come to the plate. Dulanto 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch breaking ball is fouled back. How about Eric Woodley?
He and it's just been.
There's a line drive center field. Right to Travis Hammond. He'll make the catch. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Yeah, so Woodley not lighting the world on fire with strikeouts or these insane, crazy moving pitches, but just been solid. A flow state. You can feel it from up here. Woodley just in there pumping strikes, throwing his pitches, a first pitch strike, then moving to the off speed, then really just breaking down each hitter. Super, super consistent with his mechanics, with his approach, has gotten him into this position that he is right now.
0-1 pitch on the way. Nasty breaking ball. He's quickly ahead on Shane Prey, 0-2. I think all he sees is Prey in that batter's box.
For sure. Hey.
Trying to pick up his 4th K of the day, the 0-2. Misses high with the heater. But you saw how effective that breaking ball was. Changing his eye level there. He's looking. Now he'll have to respect the fastball. If he snaps off a breaking ball, he may be fooled, as that one is grounded out to second. Castrataro fields. Throws to first in time. A 1-2-3 7th inning for Eric Woodley.
Wow.
He is through 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 5 hits. He has been incredible tonight. As the Muckdogs head now to the 8th inning, they're in the lead, 6-1. The top of the 8th inning. Just 2 more frames here to go today. Brady Toney leads off the frame as Cooper Fesh leads off against him, The designated hitter is 1 for 3 today. He singled in the first. He takes the first pitch heater outside for ball 1. For the Muckdogs, it'll be Fesh, Bolton, and Fry. 1-0 is fouled back. The count even at 1-1. Toney now with the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball. Fesh fouls it off his foot.
Ow.
He'll walk it off. That never feels good.
Yeah, Fesh, another strong hitter in a lineup full of them, hitting .355 with a 400 OBP, slugging .419.
Just from top to bottom, the Muckdogs have guys that get hits, drive in runs, hit balls into the gap. 1-2 is fouled away. Cooper Fesh, certainly one of those guys. You just look. It really is. Every time we go on the road, opposing teams marvel at just how good this lineup is from top to bottom. So that one. Fesh is contesting that it hit him.
Ooh.
But the umpire is ruling that it did not, so it's inside for ball 2. The count, I say it in quotes, even at 2-2.
Yeah, the umpires are going to have to talk about this one. Fesh was pretty adamant that he was there right there. We don't see a lot of animation from Fesh. Cooper's just a real solid guy.
Yeah, the reaction there was like there's no question. It's not up for ruling. There's no doubt I'm going to be taking first base. And after discussion, they end up ruling that it is a hit by pitch. So Cooper Fesh is on to lead off the 8th.
Now batting first baseman number 27, James.
James Bolton. He's 1 for 1. Also a sac fly and a walk to his name today.
And I would just like to say, Skip Martinez, that's a great job of him managing as well. Saw how adamant Fesh was, walked over, put some pressure on that first base umpire to be like, hey, can we look at this? Can we check that out? They talk, and now Fesh is at first when the home plate umpire was like, come on, get back in the box.
James Bolton was the first batter to face Brady Toney as he came in the 6th inning. He drew a leadoff walk. Now his second time facing the reliever. He's ahead 3-0, so 7 pitches has not seen a strike from Toney.
Yeah, and like we've seen James Bolton do all year, he's not going to take himself out of the at-bat. If you don't throw him a strike, he's not going to see a strike.
That one misses low for ball 4. So James Bolton on base for the 3rd time today. Muckdogs already up by 5, looking to bolster their lead.
Number 24, Brian Fry.
With Brian Fry up to the dish. I think here, definitely a bunt situation. I'd be surprised if they don't lay one down.
That's a good scouting report you got there. I wasn't really thinking about it. I think Fry's, a real good hitter, and like to see him maybe drive one in the usual way, but I believe a sac bunt is the correct play here as well.
Now, Norman, myself, not necessarily the biggest bunt guy, but I certainly see the value of it.
Especially in the PGCBL, right? In the MLB, like you've talked about, when you drop down a bunt, you're usually out, right? You drop down the bunt, the MLB level of defense is a lot better.
So Fry not bunting, swinging away.
But
swings through that.
As we've seen in our games commentating, defense can be shaky every now and then, right? So putting the ball in play, making the defense make a play, can be beneficial, as well as obviously moving over the runners.
That pitch misses high. Fry ahead in the count. Even in the count. 1-1. I think the only consideration, the main driver for the bunt is you're already up by 5 runs. You want to increase your likelihood of scoring 1 because you don't necessarily need to put a crooked number up here to feel good about your odds, but certainly understand. Wanted to swing away because, Luca, this is interesting. Your run probability is way higher in this situation than with runners on 2nd and 3rd and 1 out. it actually brings your odds down of scoring runs.
Wow.
That's why a lot of teams have strayed away from the bunt. It's the 1-2. It's fouled back.
I don't know.
It's the same thing. Oh.
I was just going to say, I think I'm more traditional. I like a good bunt. I think a good bunt is effective. I understand the numbers and everything. But runners, I'm surprised. Runners on second and third with one out, less likely to score a run than first and second, nobody out.
Well, maybe not less likely to score a run, but the runs, your expected run total is definitely lower.
Okay.
Of course, but that's where the bunt, you can play for one run, and that is where it serves its value in a situation like this.
Right.
Or when there's a runner on second base in extra innings and the team hasn't scored. It makes sense. The right play is to lay down the bunt in that circumstance. But when you're trying to come back in a game, generally the bunt, not the way to go. As there's a swing and a miss. Fry is set down for strike 3.
Nasty off speed from Tony right there to get Fry out.
We've seen that a few times. Struck out Espinal last inning on that breaking ball. There, got Fry fishing. As Cooper Romick will come to the plate with one away. Romick is 0 for 3 today. Popped out his last time up. First pitch to him. He flashes bunt.
Okay. So the bunt comes with an out. Maybe. I don't know.
Interesting. As Romick, let's see if he squares down again. You know, it's entirely possible he was going more bunt for a base hit. Or also, you know, of course, they're not expecting it with one away. Now, a little further in is the third baseman, Prey. It'll be an 0-1 to Romick. Now swinging. Check swing, but they'll say he went. The count now 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes on Romick. Just misses. He tried to paint that heater. Didn't get the call, though, so Cooper Romick's still alive. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, let's see if Romick can capitalize after staying in this at-bat. Give himself some confidence.
1-2, holds up. It's a great leave right there.
That is a great leave. Down 1-2 in this AB. Not easy. That was a nasty pitch from Tony. Had a lot of break to it. Count is now, in quotations, even to Romick.
After the 2-2 pitch, I'll say something which you all may see on the broadcast tomorrow. That one tapped to third. Prey fields. He steps on the bag for one on to first. Not in time. Almost a slick 5-3 DP from Shane Pry. He gets the lead man Fesh out, but runners on first and second, 2 away here in the 8th inning. Savvy play there, Shane Prey.
Yeah, not an easy ball to field at all. Does a great job of getting in front of it and stepping on that third base bag to at least get one out.
Now it'll be Travis Hammond to the dish, 2 on, 2 away. He takes that for strike 1. Hammond 0 for 3 tonight, but he's been great out in center field. That pitch misses high and inside. Evens the count at once. Luca, I'll let you play manager here. How much longer are you letting Eric Woodley ride in this one?
I think, you know, and we talked about it earlier, a conversation about pitchers and arms, and how many guys you have to use and how much wear and tear these guys are putting onto their arms. I think you let Woodley go for as long as possible at this point. He's already gone 7. He's looked incredible pretty much throughout the whole game. Just his buddy Boyle took him deep. So I'm riding Woodley so as long as Woodley can go. How do you feel?
I agree. Especially with a 5-run lead, you give him a little more wiggle room. Look, a ton of the Muckdogs' key guys in the pen went yesterday. Irwin's Branch, Evan Hollinsworth, Luke Rising, all through.
Right.
So you want to rest the pen as much as possible because the way things are shaping up, tomorrow could be the rubber match for the division lead. There's a blooper down the right field line. That one is a fair ball.
Nice.
Chugging around third, coming for the plate and scoring is Bolton. Travis Hammond slides in safely at second base with a double. It's a big RBI double. It adds an insurance run as the Muckdogs now lead 7-1 here in the top of the 8th inning.
Yeah, not the hardest hit ball you ever see, but it works. Hammond with a blooper into right field, and with that speed gets him a double, drives in a run, and increases this Muckdogs lead. Now up to 6. 7-1 Muckdogs, as it looks like we have a pitching change.
There was some action in the Americans' bullpen. Yes, indeed, a new pitcher coming into the game for the Americans. I believe it'll be Hudson Boring, but don't quote me on that. Have not been able to see the number yet. Wow, the new American arm warms up. We'll step aside for a brief moment. Reminder, Muckdog fans, the season is on its last legs. It's already July, the last month of the regular season.
It is flying by, folks.
Quick math right here. 9, 10 regular season games left. 10 regular season home games left at Dwyer Stadium. Look,
hey,
you want to come to a game, you're running out of time. So don't walk, run to the phone and dial in 585-524-2260. Get yourself some Muckdog tickets. Have some real family fun at Dwyer Stadium. Again, call Luca. What's the number?
That is 585-524-2260. Come see Lou Dog. Come see the festivities that we are holding at Dwyer Stadium.
Now batting, extra hitter number 9.
The Muckdogs knocking on the door of their first win versus the Americans this season, which would knot them back up atop the West Division standings. Caleb Walker with an opportunity to really pad the lead. He'll face a new pitcher in Hudson Boring. First pitch from Boring, a swing and a miss for strike 1. Back on the 22nd, Boring was the starter for the Americans. He went 5 innings, allowed 3 runs. He got the win. He's been good on the season. He's got an ERA below 3. As that one, a fly ball into shallow center field. A dive!
Wow.
Did he make that catch? Oh, what a play by Connor Kiefer. Came out of nowhere, dove out there like Superman to save 2 runs. An unbelievable play from Connor Kiefer.
Wow.
To end the 8th inning. The Muckdogs do score 1 run. They leave 2 on base after the end of 7.5 innings of play this evening. It's 7-1 Muckdogs. This season, get yourself the latest Batavia Muckdogs gear. Hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, warm-ups, baseballs, and much, much more. Stop by the merchandise stand by concessions at Dwyer Stadium to get yourself some of those goodies. Also, this season, you can connect with the dogs like never before with exclusive content on our social media platforms. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It'll be Tyler Castrataro on the mound. So Eric Woodley's day is done after 7 brilliant innings. Allowed just 1 run on 5 hits. So much credit needs to be given to the Muckdog pitching. It'll be Tyler Castrataro. He has made 2 appearances on the season. Has not allowed a run. That one fouled away. Last time he was out on the mound was June 23rd. Against the Tarp Skunks. So he slid. You know, you don't see this a whole lot. He slid. He was playing second base, now on the mound.
Yeah, just shows how talented this kid really is. And Muckdogs fans might be thinking, we just had 7 great innings from Woodley. Why are we taking him out? Well, we're taking him out for Castrataro, who's been spotless so far when he's out on the mound.
1-1 pitch is outside. 2-1 the count. Woodley.
Hey, Dan, what's the kid's name?
When he was taken out, had retired 11 straight hitters. Tip the cap to him, show him some love. Now Tyler Castrataro, who has predominantly been a hitter and a fielder for the Muckdogs, but pitched a little bit at Hofstra University this season as a freshman.
What's the young man's name?
He's on the mound. The count even at 2-2 against Tommy Mathey. That breaking ball just misses the zone to run the count full. Three balls, 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Mathey. Popped up. Cooper Romick chasing after it, but that one reaches the seats. I believe, Luca, I think that ball almost hit the mayor of Niagara Falls.
Oh, wow.
False alarm.
We gotta. Does he have a security team? We gotta have a fly ball security team for the mayor.
3-2 pitch is outside for ball 4. Tommy Mathey draws a leadoff walk. Breaks up the string of 11 straight Americans who have been set down.
Now batting shortstop, number 42, Chris Gazaldo.
Chris Gazaldo comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2 today. The Americans, they just need base runners. That is exactly what they want to open up this inning.
You're exactly right, Nikita. That is the name of the game when you're down big, like 6 runs down big. That's what you need. You need base runners.
No balls and a strike. Castrataro, good job jumping ahead in the count. That breaking ball misses a tick high. It evens the count at 1-1.
I will say, when Castrataro pitches, you can really see the spin on his off speed and how he snaps the ball off his fingers.
He's also got a great heater, too. You can see that arm in the field when he's gunning guys down at shortstop. A nice short arm sort of approach, which has become more popularized in today's game for pitchers. Brings it out to the mound. The 1-2. Reached out, fouled away, first base side. Course on the 4th of July, looking out, can see some fireworks being lit off in the distance. There has been a ton of Small explosions around here in Niagara Falls. 1-2, lined out to left field. That is a fair ball. It's down for a base hit. Speeding into third is Mathey. Guzaldo will hold up at first. So the first two men reach against Castrotaro here at the bottom of the 8th inning.
Yeah,
Americans not giving up just yet. They're threatening here. Down by 6 runs.
Yeah, like you just said, Americans are not going away. A nice piece of hitting by Guzaldo right there. Straight shot in the left field. They're cooking. They're cooking with fire right now. 2 runners on. And nobody out.
Of course, playing with a comfortable lead, the Muckdogs infield will play back. Up the middle, they're in double play depth, hoping to turn 2. They'll face the man who just made a dazzling play out in the field, Connor Kiefer. Bringing it back a little bit, I think.
That was something. I mean, the ground that he covered and how the extension, he put out every single inch of his body with and the glove to make that play.
This was the major league level. I think tomorrow on SportsCenter you'd be
Dun-dun-dun.
dun-dun-dun, dun. That's exactly what I was going for, actually. No balls and a strike the count. Flashing bunt. Kiefer fouls it back. So now no balls and 2 strikes. Interesting, a bunt right there.
Yeah, especially on 0-1, like not the start of the account, but 0-1 flashing the bunt. Castrotaro was also on it as well, immediately leaving the mound after throwing that high fastball.
It looked like he was going for a push bunt, which also a little more curious considering a righty on the mound. The 0-2 is outside. As Castrotaro's follow-through, already a very strong infielder, his follow-through puts him on the first base side of the rubber.
Right.
So a bunt push to that side, he's in a far greater shape to field it. So curious, maybe going for the element of surprise. With 2 strikes, the bunt will not be on. Here comes the 1-2. A swing and an awkward hack
Very
for strike
awkward.
3.
Yeah.
A nasty pitch there from Tyler Castrotaro to set down Kiefer for out number 1. Graydon Miller, a guy the Muckdogs have prevented from doing big-time damage against them. He's 1 for 2 today. He's red hot on the recent stretch of ball games. Over his last 6, he is 13 for 22. Castrotaro checks in on Guzaldo at first. I don't expect the runners to be all that aggressive. It's just not worth the risk with a guy like Romick behind the plate.
Yeah, especially with the lead that the Muckdogs have, and like you just said, the respect that needs to be given to Romick.
The 0-1 breaking ball, that one just misses. Evens the count at 1. That heater, a beauty, paints the outside corner, puts him ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes.
Great hard fastball right there on the outside corner to get ahead in this count.
We've talked a lot about Trust Tree. I think this is probably the 3rd time in the last 4 innings brought it up, but it's relevant at this point in the season.
Exactly, especially saying relevant at this point in the season because these are the big games, right? This is a 3-game series against a team that we were tied for first against. This is where we learn our high leverage guys that we can bring in, and we're going to have to test and work out the kinks of when we get so that we know who we got for playoff time.
1-2, just fouled back by Miller. And with every outing that Castrotaro shines, it only pushes him up more. But the question is, his defense out in the field is so valuable.
Right.
Is it worth putting him on the mound when you've got already a bunch of arms? It depends on how high up he goes in the ranks by the end of the season. If he keeps throwing pitches like that to guys like Graydon Miller, He's going to throw some more innings, and nasty sliders to set down the first baseman. 2 straight Ks, now 2 away as he looks to strand the runners on the corners.
Yeah, just a great slider right there. Hard slider from Castrataro at that. Mixing that with his fastball. That is a disgusting combo.
2 outs, 2 men on for the catcher, Nick Past. He takes that pitch outside for ball 1. Past is 1 for 2 today. He singled in the 3rd, struck out in the 6th inning. Those ABs both came against Eric Woodley. That fastball misses low and outside. A swing and a miss. Lows the fastball by him. Count 2 balls and a strike. Castrataro, where do you think he ranks in guys with strikeout stuff on the team? A lot of great pitchers, but generally the Muckdogs focus on inducing soft contact. They do a great job of that. Not a lot of guys who really prioritize the K.
I mean, we have our guys in Beaver and Irwin's branch who have the hard stuff, the hard velo. Castrataro's right there, though, especially tonight as another great fastball right there. He's put him up there with anybody, to be honest. When his stuff is like this, no question. How do you feel?
I think he's pretty high up there. 3-2 count, Guzaldo off on the pitch. The fastball misses outside for ball 4. So the base is now loaded with 2 away. As the dangerous Grant Moore will come to the plate.
Yeah, so that's a tough walk to give up. Now you have to face the Americans' best hitter in Grant Moore with bases loaded. Castrataro really forget about those runners, forget about what has already happened in this inning, and just focus on Moore right here.
Grant Moore, I talk a lot about analytics and things of that nature. Let's switch it up here. Grant Moore, 0 for 8 against the Muckdogs this series. Here are some analytics. He's due. That's what some people may think. I'm not going to say that. But when you look at the numbers, there's definitely that fear as the 0-1 pitch is grounded to first. Fielded cleanly by Bolton. He goes to the bag. Steps on it in time. Grant Moore, 0 for 9 in the series so far against the Muckdogs. The Americans score no runs. They leave them loaded. We got 1 more inning to play here on the 4th of July. The Muckdogs are beating the Americans 7-1. They've got 1 more inning to play. There's some contention, somewhere a little bit of a competition. Look across the outfield fence. There's a race between the Americans' Yankee Doodle Dan and a fan. You can see them now along the screen. They're running across the length of the outfield. It's a close race as we're coming to the finish. I think Yankee Doodle Dan has the edge.
Yeah, I think he's losing it.
He took it back. And he's celebrating early. Let's see. He wins. Yankee Doodle Dan secures the race, secures the victory.
Just thought we'd show you, Muckdogs fans, some of the fun that we got going on today. It is 4th of July. It is a holiday.
You know, there's a ton of fun at Dwyer Stadium. Last game, if any of you if anyone listening saw that, we flashed the fish race, the Eli fish race. Always a ton of fun, as our very own Nate Canale, a track star at St. John Fisher.
He just came up against a guy who was also a track star. The hot dog last night was a D1 track athlete. But they're friends. They knew each other. They've raced against each other before. So that was actually really cool for them.
And again, you're going to see more of that fun the rest of the way at Dwyer Stadium. So please make sure to call 585-524-2260 for tickets.
That's right.
The count is 1-0 on Braden Horton. Hudson Boring still in the ball game. He delivers that one low and outside. So Horton ahead in the count 2-0. He's 2 for 3 today. A single, a double, and a hit by pitch. Is there any surprise?
No.
Swings and pops that one up. It may stay in play. Nick passed under it, makes the catch for out number 1. Luca, I don't think I've ever heard noise like this while covering a baseball game. There's a ton going around Sal Bagley.
There's definitely theatrics going around around the stadium, around this area. Just you'd be casually watching the game and boom, boom. You can feel it from the fireworks that are going around. But that's the beauty of playing on a day like 4th of July.
Breaking ball in there for strike 1 on Mindas. We thank you all for tuning in to this broadcast of the Batavia Muckdogs versus the Niagara Falls Americans. We wish you a happy 4th of July.
Very happy 4th of July to all of our loyal fans.
There's a swing and a miss. Hudson Boring dealing out there.
Do you know how many countries have a 4th of July?
There's no balls and 2 strikes. Here's a question we just posed by the PA announcer for the Americans. You can leave it in the comments section. How many countries have a 4th of July?
Ooh.
The 0-2 is grounded to shortstop. Guzaldo fields in the hole. The throw across the diamond.
Wow.
A frozen rope to first. He sets down the speedy Mindas. 2 quick outs here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many countries have a 4th of July type day.
All of them. We're the only ones who celebrate.
So some jokes up here in the booth. As Tyler Castrataro comes to the plate, he's 0 for 3 with a walk. First pitch breaking ball is fouled back.
Now batting number 1, Tyler Castrataro.
No balls and a strike the count on Castrataro.
How are those heuristics now?
Boring, kicks, fires. That breaking ball popped first base side out of play. So behind in the count, 0-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the Americans' order. The meat of the lineup, including Gavin Boyle, who's had a day at the plate. 0-2 pitch to Castrataro, reaches out, fouls it away, like he always does.
Yeah, until you just brought it up again, he really does. He just, every single at-bat, it's never easy against Tyler. He's always going to get some type of wood on the ball, it seems.
0-2 pitch, reaches out, fouls that one away. And here's a little sneak peek. He's not necessarily protecting at the plate. He is. But as Coach Khalid Cox says, he's competing at the plate. Because when you're protecting, you're the one in defense. No, he's right there in this AB. He's not just protecting, he's battling.
Correct. There is a difference. Defensive swings and competitive swings are much different, and it's a much different confidence level as well as the batter.
Ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch from Boring. Again, chopped foul outside of third. Putting together a battle with 2 outs, nobody on here in the 9th.
Almost frustrating for the pitcher. Maybe the pitcher's like, you know what, here is a pitch in the zone. Let's see what you can do with it. And that's how Castrataro can set up some of his hits.
That one popped, foul. It could stay in play, though. Nick Pass charging towards the net. He makes the catch for out number 3. So Boring wins the battle. The Muckdogs go down 1-2-3 in the top of the 9th inning.
Top of the 9th, the Muckdogs go 1,
The Americans have one last shot. They'll get their last licks. They'll need 6 to tie, 7 to win when we return. Don't go anywhere. The Muckdogs 3 outs away from nailing down a huge victory in this top of the division battle. New pitcher on for the Muckdogs, trying to nail this one down. It's Reed Markham. Markham has appeared in one game this season through a scoreless inning on the 29th versus the Ironbacks. Recorded a save. You see the numbers. A strikeout, no walks. Did not allow any base runners in that one. Markham returning for his second season with the Muckdogs. Hailing from London, Kentucky. Only guy from Kentucky on the Muckdogs. Would be interested to see how many in the PGCBL come from Kentucky.
Yeah, he is a long way from home.
Fires in a first pitch strike to Evan Core to open the bottom of the ninth. Core is 0 for 3 today. It'll be Core, Boyle, and Dulanto as they try to keep the game alive. The Americans 3-0 against the Muckdogs so far this season, but it's been a different story tonight as they've got just 1 run on 6 hits through 8 innings of play. The Muckdogs 7 runs on 10 hits. Blows by the heater, showing off the gas. Count, a ball and 2 strikes. Luca, want to know something interesting about Reed Markham?
Yeah.
Back in 2021, he was the second-ranked catcher in the state of Kentucky.
Whoa.
Now on the mound. Makes sense. The cannon of an arm. Is that one? 1 hop to Brian Fry. Haven't said his name in a little while. He throws to first in time for out number 1.
Yeah, it makes sense. Usually when a pitcher can play another position, it's positions with that strong arm, right? So it's catcher, third base. Kenley Jansen, probably a very close to Hall of Fame relieving pitcher.
I'd say lock for the Hall.
Okay, so then there you go. Was a catcher for a lot of his career. There's many clips of him playing catcher in the World Baseball Classic for his home country.
Yes, in the Netherlands.
Yes.
They represent.
Yeah, exactly. So interesting how that works in baseball. That arm, it's that arm.
You know, that kind of makes me want to see Cooper Romick on the mound. Don't think it'd happen unless it's a blowout. Romick,
like a
funny guy. I could see him being the position player who pitches if the Muckdogs are up big.
Like the Kike Hernandez.
Yes.
For fans who don't know, Kike Hernandez is a utility player for the Dodgers who the Dodgers are up a lot, right? And in a lot of games, they're a dominating team. And Kike is a fun guy, fun locker room guy, and he'll always come out and be the positional player who throws. And we feel like Cooper Rama could be that guy for us.
3-0 heater misses outside, so 4-pitch walk to Gavin Boyle. He continues his strong series at the plate. 3 for 4 last night, 2 for 3 with a triple, a homer, and a walk tonight. As Paul Dulanto comes to the plate, he's 1 for 3 on the day. Was the entire offense for the Americans last night. They recorded 10 hits, but they could only drive home 2. So how about shout out to the Muckdog pitching staff. Over the last 17.1 innings, they have allowed 3 runs.
Yes, a very, very good sign as we head into this latter half of the season.
The 1-0 on the way from Markham is high. And then, if you want to draw this pitching stretch back further, versus the Ironbacks on the second, they allowed 3 runs. Versus in the doubleheader versus the Ironbacks, they allowed 4 over 14 innings.
Yeah.
The pitching has been nails for an extended period of time. The 2-0 is in there for a strike.
These fireworks are making it sound like a war zone out here.
2 balls and a strike, 1 away. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. The count is even at 2-2. That breaking ball is in there. A nasty curve for strike 3. Markham freezes Dulanto. His first K of the evening for out number 2. The Americans now down to their final out. Luca, coming into today, we knew this was a big game. And the Muckdogs have certainly answered the call. What do you think has been so successful for the Muckdogs? As a hit by pitch puts 2 runners on with 2 away.
I just think, we knew how big this series against the Americans was last night. We lost a very, very close game to them at Dwyer Stadium. And losing games at home is always it's a worse feeling than losing a game on the road. It just is, right? You're in front of your own fans, and there was a different sense of focus in the locker room with the players today on the bus. We are able to sit in with them, and it just was. We recognized how big these games are. And, it's funny with baseball, every single position is important, but when you have a starter go out like Eric Woodley did and dominate, and like I said for another time, be in that flow state, carving through the lineup, it's really gonna put yourself in a great spot to win the game.
Yeah, the starter just has.
He has so much control over the game.
They dictate the outcome more than anyone else on the field.
No question.
Especially when they're having a great day at the office, like Eric Woodley did today. He's in line for the win, of course, after tossing 7 innings, allowing 1 run.
And then also, it was the hitters today. It was a frenzy. It was multiple piranhas. It wasn't just one. Espinal with 2 hits, Castro, Hammond with the double, Horton as always, and Mindas. Right? It's just the usual suspects. Everybody chipping in today and helping us get the 7 runs and the 10 hits that we have.
They set the tone in the first inning, putting up 4 runs. Now the Americans down to their final strike. Reed Markham trying to close it out and put the Muckdogs back in a tie for first place in the West Division. That one just missed the zone. Cooper Romick was ready to get up and congratulate Reed Markham on the scoreless inning, but it's ruled a ball to count 2-2. The Muckdogs still a strike away from securing the victory.
It's always interesting when the batter thinks that they struck out as well.
Yeah. Tommy Mathey, though, still alive. Here's the 2-2. Grounded up the middle. It hits off the bag and into center field. A run will score. Tommy Mathey with an RBI single as Boyle scores. The Americans are not dead just yet. They trail 7-2, still 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th. Runners on first and second.
And that's baseball right there, folks, right? You think you're out of it. You think it's a called strike 3, and ump says nope. And then, boom, the rubber band effect, a single up the middle. Cuts down the lead to 5, folks. The game is not over.
Muckdogs still comfortably ahead, though. Reed Markham just has to get one more out. He fires a first pitch breaking ball in there for strike 1.
Averill spins and
0-1, the count. Markham. A swing and a miss. An awkward hack at that one. Guzaldo waved. And now, again, the Muckdogs. 1 strike away from securing the victory, winning their first game against the Americans this season to set up a rubber match tomorrow. Here's the 0-2. That one misses high. A ball and 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Markham looks back to second. Now he'll come to home plate. The pitch, a swing and a miss. Strike 3, and the Muckdogs win it. After 3 tightly contested contests, the Muckdogs come out, put up 4 in the first, dominate this one as they take it home 7-2. They improve their record to 17-9 on the season and tie the Americans up for first place in the West Division. Luca, what did you see tonight? The Muckdogs came out, set the tone, won big.
Yeah, exactly. I think that first inning, the Americans made some defensive mistakes, and we were just able to capitalize on it today. We just were focused the whole day, folks. From the locker room to the bus, we knew how big this game was. And like I said, Eric Woodley, giving him all of his flowers today, came out with 7 strong. That's how you come out if you're the starting pitcher. After a rough home loss, you come out and you absolutely dominate. That's what Woodley did for us. Contributions from Cacciataro, Reed Markham coming in and closing the game, and as well, even the hitters, all right? Everybody contributing. Just an all-around great game for our Muckdogs.
A great team win, again, that knots them up with the Americans. The rubber match tomorrow in this 3-game set. That one at Dwyer Stadium. It'll kick off at 6:30. Just a great game for the Muckdogs. They improved to 6-5 on the road this season. I'm Nikita Lohman. I've been alongside Luca Zaccaro. Again, right here at Dwyer Stadium, right here on the Batavia Muckdogs Sports Network. 6:30 p.m. tomorrow night. Tune in. Another big contest coming up. We thank you all for tuning in here on the 4th of July.
Thank you.
We wish you all a great rest of your night.